Ladies and gentlemen, I see that you've arrived. Excellent. And such perfect timing as well. It couldn't be more spot on. Most majestic indeed. Truly a paramount example of professional conscientiousness. But I digress. Now then, shall we begin? Yes, we shall, at long last. Mellow greetings, good day, and welcome, humble followers of the channel, to Let's Play XCOM Long War. Once again, we must defend our beautiful planet from the extraterrestrial threat. They have come to conquer it, their only desire to enslave the human race. However, we will not allow them to be victorious. Never. Without further ado, my name is TheShadowCookie, aka Commander TSC, and I am a faithful worshipper of the XCOM project. Have you prepared yourselves, ladies and gents? Today happens to be a red letter day. The third war has been ignited, and you, yes indeed, you, might even receive the honorable privilege at some point to join the ranks of the XCOM operatives. Wouldn't that be grand? Just like old times, eh? But before we can dare to launch our offensive, first a few words of warning. This very episode won't feature, I repeat, it won't feature any gameplay whatsoever. Instead, it'll revolve entirely around the setup. The calm before the storm, if you will. A long-lasting campaign such as this one wouldn't be able to achieve success without a precious list of painstaking preparations. These steps towards readiness cannot be ignored. Cunning intentions require a masterful setup, and I want you to witness it to the last detail. Besides, the sooner the better. Eradicating these bothersome obstacles ASAP will eliminate the possibility of future interferences, am I right? Just taking reasonable precautions. So, what are we waiting for? The end of the world? Certainly not. Now, first of all, we are going to, of course, select our level of difficulty. It needs to be challenging, but not too challenging. A complex jigsaw puzzle, but not impossible to solve. Therefore, I am going to choose the following difficulty. Nah, just kidding. I am going to choose normal. This might surprise a few people, this decision of mine, considering that I am usually the type of masochistic lunatic who tends to despise simplicity. However, having said this, there are of course reasons. The first, we are not going to play XCOM 2012. Keep that in mind. This is the Long War, an experience much more unforgiving than the original. Even the developers themselves recommend normal difficulty. They urge newcomers to not underestimate their project. And I am going to follow suit. As you can see, play this first. Not easy by any stretch, but somewhat tolerant of mistakes. Believe me, Long War, I can take a hint. Oh dear, I've seen some terror, believe me, dreadful terror beyond human comprehension. Spilled blood everywhere, dead operatives filling the streets. Oh dear, the memories. Normal will suffice, definitely. And reason number 2, perhaps you remember, back in the days those were delightful times. Back in the days I dared to ask classic difficulty for a dance. The results were anything but pleasant. My own hubris was certainly to blame. Altering the game's files in order to increase the challenge brought about the downfall of XCOM. But I have learned my lesson. I really have, ladies and gentlemen. Normal it is going to be. Next up, the advanced options. Here we go. As you can see, the tutorials have been disabled. Obviously, cause if you do not yet know how to play this game, then what the hell are you trying to achieve, plunging yourself into the long war without any previous knowledge? Just leave. It's better that way. Spares you the frustration and humiliation. Next up, the DLC missions. Progeny as well as Slingshot. We'll keep them around for the sake of variety. They'll no doubt annihilate my squads, that much I can guarantee. But who wants to live forever, correct? In addition, I've never actually played Progeny, so this should become an interesting tale of unavoidable death. In the course of defending Earth against the alien invasion, undertake a campaign to rescue an alien abductee who is more than she seems. Certainly sounds intriguing. Bring it on. What about Iron Man? Play with a single save that is updated automatically? No, we do not want it. As amazing as the Long War happens to be, there are still some bugs, here and there, bugs that could cause the foundation of safety beneath my feet to break apart. For example, you might not be able to revive fallen comrades. How horrible would that be? Nope, I demand to own an emergency save file, just in case. Much appreciated. Last but not least, beginner voiceover. Should we reduce it? Yes, Dr. Valen, your constant nagging is such delightful pleasure to my ears. Not going to check this though. She can be rather annoying at times, certainly, but I do believe that her dialogue adds a little to the overall story and immersion. Therefore, welcome aboard, Dr. Valen. I've missed you, honest. And that concludes the chapter of selecting advanced options. Only one more chapter left to enlarge upon, the most important of chapters. I am of course talking about these. Selecting the second wave options, aka additional gameplay options. Oh, they can be quite overwhelming. We've got 30 in total, much more than the original vanilla XCOM 2012 had to offer. In case you do not know what these are supposed to be, the second wave options pretty much serve to enhance the overall campaign. In vanilla XCOM you had to unlock these by beating the game on certain difficulties. However, the Long War, thankfully enough, it gives you all of them right from the get-go. You just need to make that choice. Which do we want? Some of them are good, others terrible. Some of them serve to increase the challenge, others decrease it. I think we want about 7 or 8. I of course know what these do. About 8 sounds kind of right. Now, I could of course explain what all of these do, but then we'd be here forever. Therefore, I am just going to briefly mention those that we are actually going to choose. Let's see. These options right here, the ones down here, you can ignore these. We are going to ignore these because they make the game too easy. For example, durability. Items never need to be repaired. I don't want these kind of shenanigans, no thank you. Instead, we are going to focus on these. Now, new economy is going to be the first. The funding offered by individual council members is randomized, and I so love the element of randomization. I pray to the Lord of RNG every day to grant me good die. Here we go. Number 2, hidden potential. Soldiers' level up stats are randomized. Need I say more? There's that word again. Randomization, here we go. Number 3, let me think about this. What do I want? Strict screening? Oh, nope. A definite nope. Damage roulette? I ignored that one for a good reason. Training roulette? Nope. Safe scum? Nope. Ah, yes, of course, the red fog. An option that I am particularly fond of. This option causes units' aim as well as mobility to degrade the more wounds they take in combat. This is of course going to grant the aliens an advantage, but it'll also grant us an advantage. For example, you might have 2 aliens in front of you. Now, with this option active, you can choose to shoot one alien, and then you can just ignore it and focus your fire on the other, because the injured alien is no longer as great a threat. Doesn't that sound logical? It does sound logical, doesn't it? Therefore, I am going to choose this because I just hated this always in the original, that you would injure an alien, but it wouldn't degrade at all. It would still be as deadly as before. That makes no sense. Red Fog, I appreciate your existence. Absolutely critical. Nope, makes the game too difficult. Liberators, nope, makes the game too long. It is long enough as it is. Dynamic War, Cinematic Mode, nope. Results driven, I like this one. A country will offer less funding as its panic increases. This pretty much is meant to motivate you to actually save those countries, because the more panic they have, the less money they are going to offer, and without money there is not going to be an XCOM project. I am going to choose this. So, now we've got 4. What's left? Wear and tear? Items carried by soldiers will sometimes wear out after missions and require repair. You know, makes sense. Serves realism. Yes, we want this. Itchy trigger tentacle. This is an interesting one, but it makes the game way too random and difficult. Nope. I don't hate my operatives that much. War weariness? Nope. Bronzeman? Nope. Total loss. Sometimes lose gear from soldiers who die in combat or are left behind on missions. This makes you care about soldiers so much more, for if they die, you might lose that precious plasma rifle. Oh no, why did you have to die? Oh no, why did we have to lose all your stuff? Yeah, this one as well. So now we have 6. What's left? Ah yes, of course, I was right. We do want 8. Commander's choice? You may select the class for each soldier upon promotion to Specialist. This option pretty much makes useless soldiers useful again. For example, perhaps you remember, in the vanilla game, it would just randomly select a class for a promoted soldier. For example, it would turn an operative into a sniper, despite the fact that that operative didn't have any good aim whatsoever. But that once again makes absolutely no sense. Why would you give a soldier who has terrible, god-awful aim a sniper rifle? That soldier would be like, "But sir, I always wanted to be a medic." "No son, you'll be a sniper. You are a sniper now." "But sir, no buts." That makes absolutely no sense. However, with this option, suddenly you can make logical choices. For example, this soldier might not have good aim. Turn him into a medic instead, or a support who can throw grenades. I love this option so much. Last but not least, aiming angles. Units receive an aim bonus the closer they are to flanking an enemy. This also makes so much sense, because in the original, in order to receive a good aim, you had to be like right next or behind an enemy. But if I am, for example, sitting here and I can see that the enemy is exposed, but I am not yet right next to them, why would I not receive that bonus? The enemy is exposed, they are distracted, I can shoot them right here and now, and I would hit. I deserve that bonus. Well, this option, it gives you that bonus. Of course, once again, the aliens will also receive the same bonus, but as long as you play careful and strategically, shouldn't be a problem. We are going to die. And that should pretty much be it, I think. Yes, indeed. There you go. We've selected our second wave options. Now then, are we good to go? Can we finally start the game? Can we plunge ourselves into the campaign to save the Earth? Well, almost, just about. There's just one more thing we need to take care of, and you should of course know what I am talking about. Can you take a guess, ladies and gents? I am of course talking about this. Selecting a base location, and this one is certainly an interesting one. Perhaps you remember, how often have I said that already? In the original, you got to choose a continent, indeed. Well, in the Long War, you can choose a country within a continent. Look at these options. Jesus Christ. They are so overwhelming as the second wave options. My god, which country do we want? Why do I say that? Well, because every single country offers a unique starting bonus. For example, take a look at Canada. If you take this, advanced preparations right here, you start with a laboratory and workshop already built. Isn't that amazing? Saves time, saves resources, grants you advantages right off the bat, like, damn. Of course, we still have the continent bonuses from the vanilla game, for example in the case of Canada, air superiority, but we want to focus on this because this bonus is kind of unique. Yes, indeed, very unique. You can gain the other bonuses as well with the time, once you grant the country satellite coverage, but it's a starting bonus, so we want to choose a good one. What about, for example, this one, China? Xenological remedies. Oh, would you look at this? More cash from alien corpses, for example. Isn't that delightful? So if you want to play a money-focused style, go for this one. I can't decide. There are so many possibilities here, so many strategies you could deploy. But I don't want to be here all day either, therefore I've already kind of made my decision. Our base is of course going to be in Germany. Why Germany? Well, because I kind of hinted at it during my introduction, and besides, it's kind of a tradition. Whenever I let's play XCOM, my base is usually in Germany because I happen to be German, and in the case of the Long War, it is going to be no different. But what starting bonus do we want? Do we want Skunkworks? XCOM HQ starts with a foundry already built. This isn't the best kind of bonus because, let's be frank, the foundry, it exists only to consume money. The upgrades it can offer are good, but the money, you don't have that much money when you start the game. You need that money to recruit soldiers, to build early game stuff. You don't want to waste it on the foundry. Of course, the foundry is also quite expensive to build, so it's kind of a pick your poison situation. Do you want to save money and have the foundry only to have it consume more money? Or do you want to, well, build the foundry but have money early on? Well, either way, the money will disappear sooner or later, but I am not a fan of this, cause the upgrades offered by the foundry, they are not really meant to serve you during the early game. So, what else do we have? Baumeister. Ah, yes, of course, it translates to builder. Do you see the builder? Can we fix it? Can we fix this alien mess? Oh, we'll try. Facility construction time reduced by 33%. This is actually quite a good starting bonus. Because buildings, they do take much longer to be made, to be created in the Long War. Therefore, 33% reduced, not too shabby. Last but not least, we've got the Neo-Panzers. 50% reduction to Illyrium required for mechs and shifts. Well, not just to Illyrium, also the other stuff, alloys and so on and so forth, but if you want to build plenty of shifts as well as mechs, this is the style to go. Neo-Panzers. 50%, delightful. However, what am I going to choose? Well, maybe I am feeling risky. Maybe I am going to choose this one on our own. No unique bonus whatsoever. Kind of like the deprived starting class from Dark Souls. I don't want any boni. I am going to learn everything myself. Learn by doing. Well, in the case of Long War, I am not going to choose this because the Long War is just so damn difficult. I would like to have a starting bonus. Now, you can of course argue that Baumeister is not the best starting bonus in the world. It doesn't have the most value, but I don't want to choose whatever has the most. I want to choose, well, I want to choose something that sounds interesting. And Baumeister, it does sound interesting. Not as good as, for example, some of the others, but whatever. Germany, it is going to be. This will allow us to build much more without investing as much money. Not too shabby, am I right? Now then, ladies and gentlemen, all of the preparations have been made, and thus the war can finally, officially begin. Do you think we can do it, ladies and gents? Please, I need you all to stay vigilant and brave. Yes, indeed, your courage, it shall save the planet. Soon you'll get a chance to prove yourselves. Next time, the first session of combat awaits. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been TheShadowCookie, aka Commander TSC. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I am going to see you all next time. Until then.